The dinner was the culmination of a visit by 3 visiting congressmen from across the aisle in a bipartisan delegation, who have had meetings with government, familiarized themselves with the rock, and taken part in a wreath-laying ceremony at the American War Memorial. Dr. Joseph Garcia thanked the British Embassy in Washington, the Convent in Gibraltar, and the Foreign and Commonwealth Office in London for their support in organizing the mutual educational and cultural exchange visit. This is the 3rd time this year Gibraltar has received members from the US Congress.
These positive engagements on matters as important as economy, development, and trade reinforced our mutual willingness and vision for the strengthening of the relationships that has gradually developed over the last few years. Indeed, in the current political climate, it is increasingly vital to maintain and promote our shared beliefs in freedom, in democracy, in justice, and in self-determination.
The minister also highlighted the historical links between the rock and the United States, in particular the prominent visits over the years.
Let me remind you that in stepping on this rock this week, we are followed in the steps of President Grant, who came here in 1878, of President Theodore Roosevelt, who came here in 1909, of President Dwight Eisenhower in 1942, and of President H.W. Bush in 1994. I hope that, like them, you will return to the United States with a better understanding of what Gibraltar has to offer, of the values and the principles that we share, and of how, for centuries, we have added our grain of sand, or rather, our gigantic rock, to make the world a safer place.
The visiting delegation also shared some thoughts on the current political climate, the challenges Gibraltar faces with Brexit, and the importance of sustaining links between the US, the UK, and Gibraltar for the benefit of the region.
I was here before the Brexit vote, and now to be here after the Brexit vote and seeing how Gibraltar always does, and taking things that are complicated and perhaps adverse and turning them into opportunities. You know, Confucius had a curse, may you live in interesting times, and I think Gibraltar makes the most of interesting times.
This is the 21st century, and America has been committed for a long time to the principle of self-determination. Going back to Woodrow Wilson's 14 points, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt's 4 freedoms, and the United Nations Charter itself. All of those documents enshrine noble goals about self-determination. It hasn't always worked, but the truth behind those principles remains as lustrous today as when first enunciated. And that's why we're here, to show solidarity with Gibraltar and to ensure that Gibraltar determines its own future.
But I never realized until I came what a prosperous and vibrant economy Gibraltar has got. So prosperous and vibrant, in fact, that there are 9,000 Spaniards who have to cross the border every day because Gibraltar provides them employment and income and being able to increase their standard of living on the other side of the frontier. This has worked well since the border was reopened, that it shouldn't be wrecked. And it's not in the interest of either Spain or the United Kingdom to wreck that current arrangement.
After the speeches, singer Philip Borge sang the American national anthem.